Vision boards help you overcome that fear and that inertia once you make the decision to change. They help you make sobriety stick. They keep you focused on what you want. And because it's right in front of you every day, that feels familiar too, rather than getting distracted by what everyone else is working towards. And it'll remind you to take small and big steps towards your goal and your dreams. I love the quote, and I'm not sure who said it, that says, it's not what you say to everyone else that determines your life. It's what you whisper to yourself that has the greatest power. Now, I've used vision boards over the years for many things, and I create a new one at least every new year, but sometimes in between as well when I'm making a big shift or I want to. But the first time that I ever used a vision board to achieve a specific goal was 7 years ago when I made one as I was trying to stop drinking and make sobriety stick. That's why the very first quote I put on my first quasi vision board right when I was quitting drinking wasn't some great vision of what I wanted to do with my life or achieve in my life or even bring into my life. It was actually this quote: create a life that feels good on the inside, not just one that looks good on the outside. I put that quote up inside, no. I put that quote up inside my cupboard in my kitchen. And around it, I put pictures of my baby Lila looking all cute because she was 2 years old. And I put a picture of Paris because I traveled there and I loved it. I put a picture of me when I was younger on a scooter in Nantucket and a picture of a field in the sunshine. And I put a picture in of my family and a picture of Croatia. And it reminded me that these are the things that fill up a life that feels good on the inside. Because what my life was actually like was I was drinking a bottle of wine a night and waking up feeling like shit and talking crap to myself every morning and slogging my way through life on too little sleep and too much anxiety, and having my life on the outside look pretty good with a smile on my face at work and trying to pull myself together every morning and dropping my daughter at daycare and texting my friends and going to school conferences and business trips and all the rest. It looked good as long as you didn't look too closely at my eyes, which were watery and were bloodshot, as long as you weren't in my room at 3 a.m. when I was waking up with just brutal anxiety and being scared about how I would fall asleep again to get through the day. On the outside, it looked okay, but I wasn't really happy. I was gritting my teeth a lot and asking myself if this is how it's all meant to feel, and if this is what adulting is like, and all the rest. But that quote, that first vision board, it actually helped me quit drinking. It did, because I did put it on the inside of my pantry. And every morning and every night, I internalized the message that I needed to create a life that felt good on the inside, not just one that looks good on the outside. And that's kind of the way I thought about wine as well, right? Holding a glass of wine looked really sophisticated, even to me. It looked like something very beautiful. So it looked good on the outside, but on the inside, it made me feel like complete and total garbage. The images I put on the very first quasi vision board weren't wine glasses and bottles. They were things that would really make me happy. And when I looked at it, I remembered how it felt to be 27 years old and to rent a scooter in Nantucket and drive around the island by myself and take photographs of lighthouses and buy a sandwich and sit on the beach. And I thought, God, I want more of that in my life. I want that feeling, not hangovers and shakiness and Groundhog Days. So every morning when I opened the pantry door, I thought, I want to create a life that feels good on the inside, not just one that looks good on the outside. And for me, that quote was a code. It was shorthand that says, don't drink. Another quote I put up right next to my mirror in the early days of sobriety was, make a list of things that make you happy. Make a list of things you do every day. Compare the lists, adjust accordingly. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to enjoy your everyday existence. And you actually have the power to change how you feel every day. You have the power to change things. You are not trapped. Small changes, small improvements, they inevitably lead to big ones. My changes in the beginning were small. I stopped eating lunch at my desk every day. I started working out early in the morning with a group of women who turned into good friends. I stopped drinking wine at night. I started to go to bed early. I started blocking off my calendar and going for a walk every day at 3 p.m. Those things made me happy. They were the opposite of the things that I had been doing before. So small changes lead to big ones. But when you think about the message I saw every day, it was create a life that feels good on the inside and make a list of things that make you happy and start adjusting. Both of those reminded me long after the morning came when I had a headache and a hangover and I said, I can't fucking take this anymore. Long after that moment of motivation and desperation, it reminded me daily of new things that I needed to consider bringing into my life. And I definitely had other quotes on my early vision board that helped remind me and motivate me to keep going on the not drinking path in the early days. One was by Nelia Wright, and it said, I already know what giving up feels like. I want to see what happens if I don't. Now, everyone around me didn't know what that quote meant, sitting on a bulletin board in my kitchen, but I knew what it meant to me. And I knew every time I read, I already know what giving up feels like. I want to see what happens if I don't, was that I had been drinking and telling myself I was going to stop drinking and giving up on myself over and over and over again. So I know what drinking felt like. I wanted to see what happened when I stopped, when I didn't give up, when I kept going. Another one I had on my vision board said, you will find that it's necessary to let some things go simply for the reason that they are heavy. And for me, that symbolized my drinking habit. I needed to let it go because it was heavy. Another one I had on there was, I'm learning to love the sound of my feet walking away from things not meant for me. And it helped me reframe drinking as something that I had sort of lost my privilege to because I got grounded to, I'm ready to walk away from this thing that is no longer serving me. And when you pair that quote, loving the sound of my feet walking away from things not meant for me, with a picture of you at the age of whatever, the equivalent of me at 27 on a scooter in Nantucket, I'm like, wait, me passed out on my couch or me feeling free and young and happy and exploring. Yeah, I'm going to walk away from that thing that's dragging me down.